November 24, 1971. The day before Thanksgiving. A man in a dark suit walks into Portland Airport. He pays cash for a one-way ticket to Seattle. A short, boring, 30-minute flight. He gives his name as Dan Cooper. It is not his real name. By the end of this night, he will take $200,000, jump out of a flying jet into a storm, and vanish forever. More than 50 years later, the FBI still has no idea who he was. This is the only unsolved plane hijacking in American history. This is the story of the man who vanished from a plane. Chapter 1. The Passenger. Flight 305 was a normal short flight. A Boeing 727, 36 passengers, 6 crew. The man who called himself Dan Cooper sat in seat 18C, in the very last row. He ordered a bourbon and soda, and lit a cigarette. Witnesses later described him the same way. Mid-40s. Dark suit. White shirt. Black tie. A quiet businessman that nobody would remember. Just after takeoff, he handed a note to the flight attendant. She thought he was flirting, and dropped it into her bag without reading it. The man leaned closer and said, quietly, "Miss, you had better look at that note. I have a bomb." Chapter 2. The Demand. She read the note. Then he opened his briefcase. Just for 1 second. Inside, she saw red cylinders, wires, and a large battery. Real or fake? Nobody would ever find out. His demands were short and strangely professional. $200,000 in $20 bills. 4 parachutes. And a fuel truck waiting in Seattle. In today's money, that is around $1.6 million. The pilots warned Seattle. The airline said, "Pay him." So the plane circled in the rain for 2 hours, while the FBI collected the cash from local banks. But first, every single bill was photographed. 10,000 $20 bills. Those serial numbers would matter later. Cooper stayed calm the entire time. He was polite. He paid for his drinks. The flight attendants later said the strangest thing about him. He was nice. Chapter 3. The Jump. At 5:17 p.m., the plane landed in Seattle. Cooper released all 36 passengers, in exchange for the money and the parachutes. Then he gave the pilots new orders. Fly toward Mexico City. Slow. Low. 10,000 feet. Landing gear down. Cabin unpressurized. These were not random numbers. These are the exact settings that make it possible to survive a jump from a 727. Because the 727 had one special feature. A staircase that opened from the tail. In the back. Away from the engines. At around 8 p.m., somewhere over the dark forests of southwest Washington, a warning light blinked in the cockpit. The rear stairs were open. The crew felt a small bump of pressure. That bump was the exact moment Dan Cooper stepped into the night. He jumped into a freezing rainstorm. In total darkness. At 200 miles per hour. Over one of the wildest forests in America. Wearing a business suit, and loafers. When the plane landed in Reno, FBI agents stormed on board. The money was gone. Cooper was gone. He left behind only a black tie, a tie clip, and 8 cigarette butts. Chapter 4. The Hunt. The FBI called the case Norjack. Northwest hijacking. It became one of the longest investigations in the Bureau's history. Hundreds of soldiers searched the forest for weeks. On foot. By helicopter. They even used a submarine in a lake. They found nothing. Not a parachute. Not a body. Not $1. The FBI checked more than 800 suspects in the first 5 years. Ex-paratroopers. Pilots. Criminals. Every single trail went cold. And here is a strange detail. His name was never D.B. Cooper. A reporter mixed up the initials of a cleared suspect. The mistake spread everywhere, and the legend kept the wrong name forever. Chapter 5. The Money. For 9 years, there was nothing. Then, in February 1980, an 8-year-old boy went camping with his family on the Columbia River. Digging in the sand to build a campfire, he found 3 rotting bundles of $20 bills. $5,800. The serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom. To this day, it is the only piece of the money ever found. But the discovery created more questions than answers. The money was found miles away from the official flight path. How did it get there? Nobody knows. Chapter 6. The Ghost. So, what really happened to Dan Cooper? There are 3 main theories. Theory 1. He died that night. The FBI believed no amateur could survive that jump. But then again, no body was ever found. Theory 2. He was an expert. He knew the plane. He knew the settings. He knew the parachutes. Maybe military. Maybe an aviation insider. He landed, walked away, and lived a quiet life. Theory 3. He is someone we already know. Over the years, more than 1,000 people have been named as suspects. Some even confessed on their deathbeds. Not one was ever proven. In 2016, after 45 years, the FBI officially closed the case. The evidence fills an entire warehouse. The answer is not in it. Whoever he was, he did something nobody has done before or since. He committed the perfect crime. Or he died trying, 20 seconds after stepping off those stairs. Either way, the man who bought a ticket as Dan Cooper never existed. And the man who jumped, was never seen again. This was the first file of Shadow Atlas. Tomorrow's file. Why the President of the United States is almost impossible to kill. Subscribe, so you don't miss it.